question again?
Well, let's just go back to the question of how do we get these kids to realize how math is important?
That's a hard, it is hard to answer, but the thing is, what you're doing, I believe, will help in the process because it is making it more entertaining and not just work.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Hey, you said that you had some ideas for math problems, and we can just shoot some ideas real quick. You were talking about the buying food.
Food
and,
costing.
Yeah.
It's costing out food.
I have no experience with that kind of stuff. Okay. How would I present that kind of stuff to my students?
Well, okay, just say you want to eat a hamburger.
Yeah.
Okay. You have to buy all your ingredients: the bun, the burger, the cheese, the mayonnaise that goes on it. And the way you would go about doing that is you would have to go and buy your products. Some products you will have what is called a 100% yield, which would be your buns. You do not waste.
Yeah, you eat all the buns.
Right. But there are products where you don't use the whole product, like lettuce. There's a yield on lettuce because you don't. If you buy a head of lettuce, you don't eat the core. You don't eat the leaves that are browned normally, or we don't serve them, and therefore your cost goes up because your yield is less.
Yeah.
Okay? Just like tomato leaf. You core the tomato, the ends we can't use. So again, there's also a yield on that, and that goes into figuring out the cost of a burger. The burger patty, that is 100% yield.
Yeah.
Pickles are 100% yield. Ketchup, what you would have to do is you buy a ketchup bottle. You figure out how much you want to use your standard recipe for a burger. Just say half an ounce. You take what you bought your ketchup bottle for. You find out the total, how much it is. Say it's, let's look at this. This is 20 ounces. Okay, say this is $2. So if you're using half an ounce, you just use, let's see if my math's good. Okay, 20 ounces, half an ounce, so there's 40 servings. 40, I think it's 5 cents. 5 cents for the ketchup.
Yeah.
40 servings. It's stuff like that where you would need to find out all this little information to actually get your cost of the burger. Now, that's just your cost. Now, you can't sell it at cost, otherwise you wouldn't make any money.
Yeah, you got to sell that profit.
Right, so that's where it comes into what's called your food cost, and normally your food cost is 33% of what you sell it for. So basically, if your food cost for your burger was $1, you'd have to sell it, or normally in the industry, you would sell it for $3. So you would have a 33% food cost.
Is that how much profit you want?
That's a normal standard. And
okay.
Yes, it is a normal standard in the restaurant business.
You know, the reason why I'm talking to you and to other people is because I always hated those kinds of math problems where they said, oh, blah, 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 blah. And these math people who are writing these questions, they don't know anything about this stuff. Right. So at least now I can say, next time I write a food problem, when they say...
Well, the thing is, I'm not just a manager. I went to culinary school at KCC.
KCC, yeah. My brother went to culinary school at KCC.
And that's how I know all this stuff.
Cool. If you don't mind me asking, I'd like to record this problem or something like it, if that's all right with you. The one where we're talking about, because I think that this would be a fun problem for my students to solve, as well as the ones we've been talking about with the yield, how much yield you get and stuff like that. But what are the different types of employees that you have working in the restaurant tonight?
Myself as a manager, we have a bartender, we have a bar back, we have 4 servers and 1 busser tonight, and
any
3
cooks?
3 guys in the kitchen.
3 cooks. Yeah. Okay. And you don't need to even tell me like exact amounts, but about how much does each make minus the manager?
Okay, bartenders, they make, in the state of Hawaii, the least you can pay anybody is 25, and this is only if they work for tips, is 25 cents less than minimum, so they're making $7.25.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what they make.
That's the bartenders.
Bartenders and servers.
Oh, okay.
Kitchen, they get paid a little bit more, and busters get paid a little bit more. and that's just because of the tips that the bartenders and the servers make.
Right, because you said that that's their primary income.
That is, and the busters get tipped out from the servers.
Right, but
and
they
the
only
kitchen-
get paid
yeah,
off of a
right.
small little.
And they don't make tips themselves, and the kitchen doesn't. Well, they make tips, but it's not much.
If you don't feel comfortable with telling me this, I was just curious to know, what's the amount of sales that you expect to make in a day?
It really depends on the day.
Let's say a Friday night. That would assume, is that a busy night?
Not one of our busiest. No.
What's
Thursday
the busy?
night.
Really?
Yes.
What's a Thursday night sales like?
If we hit, well, we did 15,000 this past Thursday, which is a lot.
15 grand in a
50, and
wow.
we're selling $2 pints.
Wow.
And you see the reason why we're busy is because people are going for the bargain of $2.
Well, hey man, that's a math question right there. You make $15,000 in a night and you're selling $2 pints. Here, I'll just throw it out right now.
7,500.
How many pints did you sell, man?
Well, that's if it was all pints. It'd be
Right.
7,500.
Assuming that you didn't, assuming that you didn't sell any burgers, you just sold pints.
Yeah, right.
All right. So, $15,000. Is there like a minimum amount of percent sales that you can allocate to a labor budget? To say that like half of my sales can go to my the labor,
Well,
or 30%, or I don't know.
Well, they try to keep it's usually about the same every month. If it goes up or down, or most likely if it goes up, we keep an eye more on the hours that we give our employees, just so that we are in the ballpark of where we want to be. It's not really done on a daily basis where we check how many hours.
Yeah.
How much was our labor cost? It's basically on a monthly basis, and if we go over, we can we can adjust from there.
Okay, cool. Hey, if we can adjust these, let's make that Thursday night so it's stuff. But let's say you have, just say, hey, I got 7:30 on a Thursday night. The shack will be open for, I don't know, how long are you guys open?
Till 2.
Oh, so let's say it's midnight on a Thursday night. Shack's gonna be open till 2. I've got 3 cooks. They making $10 an hour.
Roughly.
I've got a bartender who's making $7.25 an hour. And a server making $7.25 an hour as well. And they all came in at 10 o'clock, so they have 200 hours. So they got about 2 more hours of work they got to finish off. Yeah, if you want, could we rewrite this and then have you present it, and then I'll tell my students, hey, you guys, I want you to solve this problem. And it's given to you by an actual restaurant manager, so you know that I'm not just pulling this out of my butt and throwing it up there. Cool. Why don't we